Okay, so this is in response to a discussion that's being held at the Reallusion forums right now, and basically what the discussion talks about is mostly ranting about how Reallusion focused more on the 3D aspect of their software and left a lot of the 2D stuff out. And personally, I think there really is nothing further from the truth. Um, what it boils down to is that people are creating these characters using single angles, or they're using G1 characters and expecting them to work with the 3D features. And that's not going to work. That's just illogical. Captain, that is illogical. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, why would a character that only has one angle, work with features that take advantage of, rely on the character having multiple angles? Stay away from it. This I'm just dropping in some G1 characters here, and one of the things I've noticed, I don't use any of these characters, so I'm not too familiar with them. But from what I can tell, G1 characters really only have two poses: the 0° and the 315. I don't know, but this is the closest I get to a side view. And a while back, I did create this one animation that I saved. But it was using a 270-degree angle, and I guess that's as close as I'm going to get. So that's what I'm going to use, and that's what I'm going to experiment with right now. We're going to see what happens. I mean, I think it's close enough either way, as far as the G1 character is concerned. What is this? Please make sure your original 2D motion degree matches the la la la. Okay, so it's basically telling me that I'm using a 270-degree motion on a 315 character, which makes perfect sense. You're not it's not expected to work properly unless you're using the same exact angle that you created the animation on. Anyways, let's ignore this and see what happens. It really doesn't look that bad. I mean, let's see here. As far as I can tell, it works. I mean, this is strictly a 2D motion. I did not use any 3D features to create this animation sequence. I stuck to using the 2D editor, the 2D motion editor, along a single plane, and for all intents and purposes, it seems to work fine. Now, if we want to rant about this really crappy timeline that Crazy Talk has, and I guess I can back you up on that, because this is the worst timeline in history of animation software. I hate this timeline. Okay, how do I get out of here? Like that? I hope I didn't screw something up. Now, do I click this? Damn it. Eddie? Who's Eddie? Is that him? 2D motion. I do know that I can pull on this to extend the animation sequence. Alright, let's close that. But yeah, I hate this timeline. It makes no damn sense whatsoever. But that's a different story. That's a different rant for a different day. Alright, let's look at this animation sequence in a little bit more detail now. For all intents and purposes, it's a pretty decent run cycle. It seems to work fine, even though the angle, I mean, it kind of, it's close enough to the 270-degree angle, which is what this was designed for. Let's see if I can find one of the other characters real quick. Can I exit? Yeah. No. Actor. Let's use a how do I do this? Character. Okay, G2. Alright, let's get Saul. Now, just out of curiosity, and I guess to prove a point, I'm going. I don't know if this will even work, but if I apply this while this guy's looking forward, I don't think it's going to work at all. See, it automatically flipped him for me. because that would have been really screwy. And again with this damn timeline. This timeline is the worst timeline in the history of timelines. Hate it, hate it, hate it with a passion. Alright, let's take a look. You know, it behaves just fine. And because it's a 2D motion editor, I took advantage of some of the additional features like, you know, warping and deforming and stuff like that to create these little blurs and stuff. That's on purpose. That's not a visual artifact of any kind, or it's not a bug. I mean, I did all that on purpose. But there's really, you know, a fair amount of consistency between, you know, the motion in the 3D character than there is in that motion with the single angle character. And that's what it boils down to, you know. I think really the complaint should be about the lack of, you know, reusable predefined 2D motions that you can use. I don't know, maybe other people out there, you know, hey, get the idea. There's obviously a demand for it, so, you know, maybe start creating reusable 3D motions that other people can start using instead of a lot of the 3D stuff that causes people to believe that there's something wrong with the software. I don't think there is any. Or there's other things that's wrong with the software, but this is not one of them. All right.